Joined now by Kevin O'Leary, a host of Shark Tank, chairman of O'Leary Ventures, and a business leader. Kevin, the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if you came on the show to announce you're the Treasury Secretary pick.
Well, I haven't had that phone call yet. That's okay. I
Okay.
would say one thing about this pick that I care a lot about. Some of these candidates I know, some others I haven't met, but there's a problem we've had lately over the last, call it, decade in terms of policy, some of it coming out of Treasury regarding our economy. And I'll point it out now, just by the most recent bills. Most of the support of the pandemic was focused on S&P 500 companies, many of those programs. Then the Inflation Reactivation Act was all for S&P 500 companies, nothing for small business. Infrastructure Act, absolutely nothing for small business.
Yeah.
And so here's the issue. Small businesses specifically in America between 5 and 500 employees create 62% of the jobs. And so there's a misalignment between policy coming out of Washington, Commerce and Treasury, and what the economy actually needs. And so of those picks, the one that understands this the best that I know of, and I can vouch for, so to speak, would be Haggerty.
Yeah.
He's the right candidate because he understands the challenges of small business in an inflated environment such as this. And everybody else should listen to what I'm saying, because if there's just more of the same acts that do not in any way engage small business, that is a massive misalignment with the economy right now.
Yeah, Haggerty is also a real fan of these tariffs that Donald Trump has been proposing, except, of course, on whiskey, because that's made in his home state of Tennessee. You know, Trump campaigned on a 60% tariff on goods made in China, a 20% tariff on goods from all other countries. You know that China and those other countries don't pay these tariffs. Americans do when they buy the goods that are made there. Didn't Americans send a strong message they want lower prices and not higher prices?
Well, let's talk about what really is happening here and where tariffs fit into this equation. Trump is proposing maintaining corporate taxes where they are, if not lowering them. So we're sort of at 21 right now, could go to 15. That really energizes capital coming into business, small business and large business, attracts capital into the country. That's what occurs. When you're competitive on corporate taxes, that's a capital magnet. Already 47% of all capital on earth is invested in the American economy. This will attract more of it. That's the pro. Now, there's an act floating around Congress right now regarding tariffs that is a reciprocal act. In other words, we'll just tariff our trading partners. Remember, we've already cut a deal with Canada and Mexico in NAFTA Part 1, Part 2, and this year, coming year, Part 3. So we've already got that worked out. We're talking about Europe and some Asian countries. And the reciprocal act simply says, look, if you're Germany taxing us at 10% on autos, we'll tax you at 10%.
Yeah, right.
So it's reciprocal. There's nothing wrong with that. We're talking about China.
Okay, but Kevin, the CEO of Walmart, the biggest retailer in America, just warned that prices will go up if Trump raises tariffs. So did the CEOs of Steve Madden, Lowe's, AutoZone, Black & Decker, Columbia Sportswear. I could go on and on. All these company CEOs are saying, we will have to raise prices on American consumers if Trump imposes these tariffs.
They're talking about China because the majority of their goods and services on the consumer demand are made in China. So let's just take an easy example to understand. Tariffs are not a sales tax that they're referring to here.
No, but it turns into one.
No, you have to use it as temporary warfare. Now, I'm a huge advocate for tariffs on China, but not at 60%. I want 400%, so that we threaten to shut down their economy so that the supreme leader flies to Washington to become part of a reciprocal act. What you have to understand about China, as a guy who's done business there for over 20 years, they cheat. They steal. They came in the WTO in 1999. They did not abide by it, not one single year.
Well, why are you still doing business with them?
I'm not. I've moved it to India and to Vietnam and to Cambodia. But there's still lots of people there getting screwed by the IP that was stolen from them. We are in economic war with China. They are not good guys. I'm talking about the government, not the people.
Yeah.
We have to bend them to their knees and crack them with a stick because they're not playing by the rules. I want a blowtorch, DEFCON 1 on China. So if you're saying Haggerty's supportive, you ain't said nothing yet. I am ready to walk up and down those halls to turn them off and force that Chinese leader to come to Washington to cut a deal. There's no middle ground. There's no gray zone. DEFCON 1, war, economic war. That's what I want.
Kevin O'Leary, blowtorch in hand. Thank you for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.